everybody, it's Starrapter here. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing, spoiler-free of course, Star Wars Rebels, the animated television series. It originally aired on Disney XD, and it is created by Dave Filoni, who also had a hand in developing the Clone Wars television series. So getting into the setting about Star Wars Rebels, this takes place on the Star Wars timeline in between Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and Episode 4, A New Hope, also called The Dark Times, and this is when the Empire is at its full strength and power. So we focus in on this one area in the galaxy on this planet Lothal, and this is about 5 years before A New Hope. We have this character, this boy named Ezra Bridger, and he is on his own. He's kind of a loner. He's kind of, living every day, kind of living on the streets, stealing things from the Empire because they are at a heavy occupancy on this planet. One day he runs into this organized rebel cell called the Ghost Crew, and that is led by Harrison Dula with her droid Chopper, as well as Sabine Wren, this Mandalorian, Zeb, this alien, and Kanan Jarrus, who is secretly a Jedi, and he somehow survived Order 66. So we have this group of characters that comes together and pretty much becomes a family. They're super effective, and they do a lot with trying to get rid of the Imperial presence on Lothal, and they actually travel the galaxy a bit as well. They don't just stay on that planet. So that is basically what the story is about, is this group of rebels that is rising through the galaxy and kind of making a name for themselves and causing trouble for the Empire. So get into the good about this series, and I have to say first off is the family aspect of really just honing in on these certain characters and seeing them grow over 4 seasons was just a very effective way to get attached to these characters, because you really do care and you really do kind of empathize with them throughout their long character arcs, and you do see a difference going from season 1 to season 4 in all of these characters. Another thing that I really enjoyed was how this series, thanks to Dave Filoni, really spreads our knowledge about the overall galaxy in Star Wars. So we learn a lot about hyperspace. We learned a lot about the Force. So if you guys really enjoyed some of that stuff in Clone Wars, like the Mortis arc and whatnot, you are going to eat up some of the information that Filoni presents to us that makes us think a lot differently about the Force itself. Another thing that's excellent about Rebels is its overall connection to the rest of the Star Wars universe. So you have connections to novels, to comic books, to Rogue One, to the original trilogy. There's characters that float in and out, and it just does a great job of really fleshing out this previously unexplored time period in Star Wars. And rounding out Star Wars Rebels is the music by Kevin Kiner. This guy just knows how to get the feeling out of these characters and really enhance what is going on the screen. So Rebels is definitely not a perfect show, so talking about some of the things that held it back for me, first off is the inconsistency of the episodes themselves. So while watching this in succession, there are some very dark type serious toned episodes, and then the next episode could be just this very lighthearted, very comedic, and it just seemed off to me going from episode to episode, especially watching it on TV. Now it might be different kind of streaming this thing or binge watching it, but the way I experienced it watching it every single week, it felt like we had to wait for the payoff sometimes, and it just didn't really feel all that great having to wait like 3 or 4 episodes to really get a beefy, hearty episode. And it's worth noting that this is really a kid's show. I mean, it's on Disney XD, but that's not saying that they couldn't have taken out some of the humor, which just felt a little bit off. I mean, we have humor about a refresher, which is basically in Star Wars the bathroom, and there's characters like joking around in the back. Like, it just doesn't make sense. There are some of the worst things I've ever seen in Star Wars in this series. For instance, a droid scene in space that was just uncalled for. They're trying to make it a musical all of a sudden, and that's just not Star Wars. So yeah, that just didn't really drive well for me. And finally, there are many cameos in the show, and there are a couple of them that just feel like, what's the point? There was no ramifications other than just to get this named voice actor in the series to reprise his role again. So there's a lot of things like that that just hold the show back for me. But with that being said, I'm going to give Star Wars Rebels, the animated series, a score of an 8 out of 10. If you're a Star Wars fan, I highly encourage you to watch this series because it's going to expand your overall knowledge of Star Wars. Dave Filoni does it again, and even better this time, he's actually able to finish what he started with this series, and this is a milestone for Star Wars because this is the first time a Star Wars series has actually ended on its own terms rather than get canceled like the Clone Wars. So let's start the discussion down in the comment section below. Let's talk about what you thought of Star Wars Rebels as a whole. Please try to keep it spoiler free. Also, if you are planning on watching Star Wars Rebels, I have compiled reviews on each one of the episodes in Season 3 and Season 4. So if you're watching Rebels, you can kind of tune in to my specific analysis of each episode on this channel, and you can check out my many other Star Wars videos that I have that I release on a weekly basis. So if you like this content, please make sure you go ahead and give me a subscribe. It'll help a lot and it'll keep you guys up to speed on all of my latest content. My name's Starrapter. Thank you guys for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.